Hey guys, so today I'll be doing a video on that's actually NFL based. I'm not going to do like the weekly review or preview this week because it is only week one. I purposely didn't post like predictions or anything for this week because I kind of want to see how, you know, the rosters currently are going to be playing, at least, for their first opponent before I start making predictions. I didn't see a lot of the preseason games, so that's why I also didn't decide to do predictions because I didn't see how any real like first string offenses were playing. However, this video is going to be my, I guess, interpretations of the Charger game, which, as most of you know, the Chargers and the Packers are my two main teams. The Packers is because of my mom, and the Chargers is because of my dad. So, kind of watch them basically anytime they play. I didn't do one on Green Bay, but I'll go ahead and do them too. So this will be a Green Bay and LA reaction, maybe. No, actually, no. No Green Bay on this one. I just want to talk about the Chargers because the Green Bay game was pretty easy to talk about. So first off, if you guys haven't watched the game, the Chargers beat the Colts 24-30. Now, I'm going to explain what my thoughts were on both teams, not just the Chargers. So with the Colts, Marlon Mack stepped up, I believe, knowing he had to give the Colts a chance, and he showed up quite extravagantly throughout the game. Pretty sure he had like over 200 scrimmage yards or something, or close to it, I don't know. But he did well. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up my other phone and look at this so that I can get a much better, just so I can give you guys some more accurate info. So ignore the hand on the screen for part of this. Okay, so I'll be looking off to this side a little bit because that's obviously, as you guys saw, the side the phone's on right now. So, okay, so for the Indianapolis Colts, Marlon Mack had 174 yards and a touchdown on 25 carries. And I believe, never mind, I thought he had some in passing, but he didn't. Marlon Mack had 25 carries for 174 yards and a touchdown. One of those carries was for like 50-plus yards, so there's that. He stepped up when he had to, and I think he does help the Colts stay in, at minimal, wild card contention. But a lot of people were most worried about Jacoby Brissett. Now, to me, he did well. 21 for 27, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm sure he's been sacked. He was sacked a couple times. But even though he was basically counted out for this, he actually did well. I don't know what to call him, field general, clock manager. I don't know what to call him. But this game does prove that he can run the offense as long as the run game's doing okay, which I guess is true for most teams. T.Y. Hilton had both of his touchdowns, 8 receptions, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 for 35 for Kane, 3 for 32 for Funchess, 1 for 20 for Doyle, 1 for 8 for Ebron, 4 for 4 for Hines, 1 for 3 for Ali Cox, and 1 for 1 for Campbell. So he did spread the ball a bit, but he was mainly aiming for T.Y. for basically the entirety of the game when he did throw the ball. So I think their receiving core is still a weakness right now that they're probably going to have to try to address through like a trade or something. But Jacoby Brissett, in my opinion, gets at least a B- because he put up good numbers, but I think this is just a 1 week, sample of what could be a great thing moving forward, or what could just be a one-hit wonder and they can get completely demolished next week. We don't know. But that's what I've thought about the offense. Defensively, the interception, because Rivers did have an interception, I haven't gotten to their stats yet, but was by Malik Hooker. There was a sack by Houston, half a sack by Aubrey, along with Banogu, and then a sack by Muhammad. So there was a couple sacks. Nothing on kick returns or anything. The big story of the game, however, was Adam Vinatieri missing 2 field goals and an extra point. So he left 7 points on the field. They would have won 31 to 24 if they would have had those points, but unfortunately, not the case. For them, anyways. I'm happy about it. For the Chargers, let's look at their stats. Rivers was 25 of 34, 333 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Basically what you'd expect from Rivers when he's going against most teams in the league, I'd say. Not all, but most. And the Colts, by the way, for the finishing grades for them. Running back gets probably an A-. Receiving core, C, because besides T.Y., nobody really did anything. Defensively, I'd give him like a B, and then kicker, I'd give him a D because Vinatieri was just off. Chargers, I give Phillip Rivers obviously an A-. He did much better than Jacoby. That interception does hurt his grading. Austin Eckler, 12 for 58, and a touchdown, which sealed the game. Justin Jackson, 6 for 57. Rivers even had a scramble for 6, and then Derek Watt had 2 carries for 4 yards. So in terms of our rushing attack, I give it probably a B. I'd say it's pretty solid. I mean, we got 115 yards without our so-called main cog in the offense. So to me, that's a B. I can't really put it any lower just because this was solid production by an all-around running game. As for the Chargers passing game, 8 for 123 and a touchdown for Allen, 6 for 96 and 2 for Eckler, 4 for 60 for Hunter Henry, 2 for 29 on Mike Williams, who did get injured. Travis Benjamin, 2 for 12, Inman, 1 for 5, Jackson, 1 for 4, and Green, 1 for 4. So I'm going to give the grade for them probably about a B-, B+, because they did get a good chunk to one player, but Rivers also had a good chunk to a second player. He had basically 60+ for 3 separate receivers. And to me, that's a lot better than one receiver basically getting mostly all of the yards and touchdowns and all that. So that's for the receiving core. Defensively, we didn't get a pick, which is kind of bad. And then Bosa and Ingram each had a sack. But we did have quite a few tackles, quite a few assists, and we also had a few injuries throughout the game. I know we don't have Derwin James for most of the season. I believe we had injuries to a D tackle. We had an injury to a corner. We had an injury to Melvin Ingram at one point. So we were a little bit banged up on defense at points in the game, and I feel like the Colts did take advantage of that like any other team would. So defensively, I give us about I'm going to say a B-, maybe a B. Because we did do well. I mean, we didn't get any, turnovers or anything, but we played solid and we made stands when it mattered, which was near the end of the game. We led this game 9-2, I think 24 leading into the second half, I think. Well, when the first half ended, it was 6-17. Then they kind of just drove back quite furiously near the end. But to me, great game. I enjoyed watching it. It wasn't one-dimensional at all. There was a 43-yard kick return for Desmond King, and that's it. 1 for 1 for our punter playing kicker, by the way, in case you guys were wondering. And 2 punts from the same guy that were inside the 20, and he had netted 98 yards. So special teams-wise, I give up an A 100%. The punter had to fill in both slots, did great in both of them, hit all his extra points. Nothing they really complained about here. So overall, I feel like the game itself, I definitely give the game like probably a B+, A-. To me, because I watched basically the entire thing from start to finish, it was a good game. I mean, Chargers dominated first half. Colts, for the most part, dominated second half. And then The Chargers got the ball first and put together one of the few overtime game-winning drives I think they've had in a long time. I definitely recommend watching it if you can find it on like anybody's DVR or online or something. But that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be doing a week 1 review tomorrow or Wednesday. And that'll be when you hear all the stats, not all the stats, but at least record-wise, who won, who didn't, and my thoughts on each team involved in each game. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.